Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. So I'm back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and this time I'm actually going to be talking about the PvP element. The PvP element is really imbalanced, and I can explain to you why it's imbalanced in a few quick statements, but here goes. First of all, they don't accompany time to where they place you in these leagues. Anyway. So let me just show you, for example, in this one here. This champion was available last year only, and you can't just pick him up anytime. So I know that this champion, this individual who I'm fighting, has one whole year on me in terms of gameplay. So that's 360 days at the very least. So there we go, that's one big hit. He has I'm taking them 1, 2, 3, 4 legendary champions. His power is low, that means he has fantastic gear sets that are working perfectly for him. Sometimes you do that in the game. You bring down your gear sets instead of pushing them up. We see that his level 60s are limited in this entire setup. Maybe he's very casual, or maybe he's just a massive spend to win player. Going up against this here, I'm actually afraid of this first fight, and I'm going to lose this one just to show you how it goes. But basically, we're in a similar league of power. I'm at 193 because of my fast climb, and he's at this league of power because of his time spent playing the game. Alright, and that's where the easy stuff ends, and the nightmare is about to start for me because I'm about to get a hiding of my life from this champion set, basically. Here it comes. Now, if the game really wanted to, they could easily limit your encounters. These leagues are very wide open. This is an open criticism, obviously. They know how long every player is in the game. It's a simple coding issue because of the amount of time that you spend. Your player numbers are different, and your allocations to when you start the game are easily detected by most of these companies. Because when I had problems trying to recover my old account, they told me the date that it started and that it's a 1.5-year-old account. Why am I trying to get back into it at this point? And I explained the situation where I was logged out, and I understood everything I did in game. But they don't like to discuss it, and it was after I managed to verify that I was the rightful user that they came up with those excuses. I'm losing the main champion there. Alright, now I would like to skip this fight because I know I've lost it. So you can skip the battle, or you can skip the entire series of fights. This is another one that I'm going to lose very quickly. And this is something else which I'm going to really criticize for the game, and this is going to be the auto assaults. Watch that there. They chose the wrong champion to hit in a primary, even though they know the order of champions, the order of skills, and they know my playstyle. That's because it's recorded data as part of the play. It'll generally show where you like to target your enemies. So I would go with Frosty. Now I'm going to make it target, and this is where one of the major problems that I have arises. Decided to do a debuff over taking care of an enemy. It wasn't necessary for him to do that debuff. It was pointless. He could have killed the enemy without the protection being up from the other champion. Made it more difficult in the long run, and we're going to lose more champions because of the overall amount of damage we're taking. Oh, you're kidding me. I did not know that they had a revival. Otherwise, the revival would have been my primary target. That's also another thing. They don't let you just get the info on your champions. Revival champions are very difficult to deal with because if you have defense and revivals, you have to take care of your reviver before you take care of your defense. Otherwise, it's impossible for you to go through that set of champions. And here's another one. He's all alone. There's no use in buffing, but he'll put the buff on and take massive damage. And now he's going to revive. Oh no, revive didn't come up as yet. One of the skills didn't work for me from the mastery. Just gonna lose this fight in a few seconds, so I'm not worried about this. I'm not gonna skip it because I'd like to show you. Oh, there we go. Since he's gone, it's all over. But overall, as I'm saying, this is an unfair pairing of matches. He should not be part of the pool that I'm fighting against. I should be in a beginner's pool under 3 months. They should have a 3-month pool, they should have a 6-month pool, and then an open pool for everybody who's past 6 months. There is no beginner's protection. Everything is done at the level where you join in the game 3 years after it started. You fight everybody who's 3 years into the game, and it doesn't. This one, there's no way I'm winning. I'm fighting Ninja. His smite is just one deadly attack, and here comes the second one. As you can see, instant death. Now, this is something that shows the variance in power. I lost a lot of the level over there, and I might just get knocked out from the league, and I want to get knocked down from this league. Just to show you where my power is sitting, I'm at 196. That means up to 30 should be beatable by me in terms of power up. Let's see, what's this one here? 60, 71, 92. Here's it again. Very close to me, but the power is ridiculously scaled. The amount of legendaries, this could be a pay-to-win account. Watch out. I don't see many 60s. I see 1, 2. Yes, I don't see a lot of 60s in the setup. Could be very dangerous, could be minimal danger, but I wouldn't want to take a risk against such a heavy team. The other thing is, as I said, I'm under 3 months in the game. They don't regulate it so that players are given a fair chance to climb up, because that would de-seed the old players at the top, and I understand that as well to some extent. But this is just one side, and this is where it gets insane. Let me go open the tiers. You see gold 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be impossible because of the fact that everybody's trying to get to platinum. Getting out of here takes 300 points. And pairing me, a beginner under 3 months, against senior players like this battle log. Let's see. 151, 4 legendaries. Not very easy to get. 60, 60, 60, 50. That's a ridiculous amount of power for me to go up against. It's 151. My defense is the same as my attack. As you can see, I'm at 114. I'm powerful, but I definitely can't take this 109. 1 year advantage on me with a full level 60 TM. 2 brutal assaults right after one after the other. Never gonna win against that. Here's another one, brutal with defenses. Not going to win against that either. Can't win against this. Too much of defense. Too much of defense. This year I wouldn't even try. They have heavy assault, and they have. I just wouldn't want to fight that. This one here at the bottom is more or less where I'd be willing to fight, but this is also a very dangerous setup as well. Considering they have heavy defenses, I'm more than likely to lose against that set of champions. But yeah, that's just a look at the classic arena and the tag team. You want to get as high as possible because of these chests. Regardless of what people say, people will tell you to just fight the entire arena list. The fact that you are 3 years late into the game means you choose your strategic targets and you keep progressing against whoever doesn't have good defenses or good teams. You play where your weaknesses are visible. You take down players who want to come down, and you promote yourself on that. This is where Raid does a terrible job because of their pairing method in the system. I should be facing people in a similar league to myself, within a 3-month league. I should be getting only these. This should not be at all. This should most probably not be here. if he is a 2016 player on this year, I shouldn't be fighting him at all. This year was probably also a high power, but most probably within the same league. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just this one here is definitely way out of my league. So they should make it so that you start off in starter leagues, which will allow you to climb up to where you need to be. And then once you reach the 6-month league, you're going to get into a way heavier fighting pattern. You're going to get pushed down 3 or 4 leagues. You're going to climb back up. You're going to go back down. Then you're going to reach your final potential. You're going to be able to sit in that platinum because the top players keep coming out of it all the time. It's always changing. And finally, once you reach that 6-month period, you're in the standard leagues like we are right now. That means you don't have people who have to crawl up the leaderboards, and you don't have crazy difficult to face teams all over the place. A lot of these people are using custom sets of gear. That means they've either been spending to get the custom gear, or they very old players in the game who've slowly accumulated gear over a year or two. And that is just one of the sad things about how PvP is unbalanced. As I said, it should have a limitation of 3 months, 6 months, and then open. 1 year could even be argued for because of how old the game is, but meta is so difficult to judge that it's not really fair. Even with a full class spend up, which I'm just not approving, but I'm just saying, if you were to spend $100 on this game a month and blow your cash into it and pull yourself up to high levels, this still isn't worth it in that sense. You're not going to get your value out of it. You're definitely not going to climb high enough where you need to. Like, here's something to note. I'm on the 50th floor. I can't beat that boss. It's crazy difficult for me to beat right now. I need more mastery to be able to take him down, and I need more 6-star champions. So I got stuck at level 50. I need to get to 120. That's 70 levels to go. As you can see, resets in 22 hours, 49 minutes. That's the end of it for me. I'm never going to beat this champion. Not today, not a chance of that at all. Tomorrow, when the super raids come for the next one, I'm most probably going to climb 10 floors instantly in that day, beat the first champion, then the next day climb the next 10 floors. Let's see what's this. So, I didn't think of trying this here, so I'm just going to do it quickly while we're talking. But overall, those are some of the problems within the game, especially when it comes to balance. They haven't balanced the game very well. In terms of you improving and playing good strategies, because of the fact that RNG is so difficult to play against, and the number of champions they added, the wide range is something that a lot of people compliment the game for. But I would say that is its biggest weakness. There's too many options in the game for you to choose from, and it actually makes it more difficult for you in the long run. I actually might make it through this. I wouldn't be shocked that I win this one, especially since my 2 strongest are here, and I know they can last against a 160 team. 2 of my strongest are here, not my 2 strongest. Hippo and Death Knight, they're amongst my strongest champions, and they make such a big difference in my fights. So overall, when it comes to that whole thing about chasing up the levels, fighting these crazy battles all the time, I don't really approve of it to the max. They're a bit over the top, to be honest. You need to focus way too much into the game just to get to where you need to, and it can become a bit disheartening very quickly. In terms of the amount of spend that they try to force on you to try and get into the competition, it's ridiculous. Because you want to win tournaments to get items. I actually won a tournament by chance, and I think it was just against the starter players. And it was only in my first 5 days that I got to fight against starter players. And after that, I never fought against starter players again, because I can tell you that when you have campaigns with 115,000 points, something is wrong. You're not in the right league. And I was advancing too fast, so I think the game accidentally put me in a high league. I got compensation for the event, even though I didn't come out in the top 10. But yeah, I think they made a mistake, and that's why I got something from that competition. I got a whole package. So yeah, that's the reality behind it. So mistakes do happen in this game. There actually are other glitches that do happen in the game quite frequently, especially with this champion of mine. If he does it here, I would be happy to show it. This champion has a glitch where his health doesn't disappear, and it's because of the revive. If he's revived multiple times, it doesn't come back with 50% health like it's supposed to with this champion's skills. Instead, he'll come back with less than 5%, and when they damage him, he won't die. You have to damage him with a greater than 50% assault for him to disappear. Oh, I did not know about this yet. Secret rooms give you chests. I did not know about it. Alright, so that's gonna be about it for today. Yeah, I've definitely went on for very long. So catch you all in the next one, and have a good day.